Hello and welcome back to FrogClan. Today we are picking up where we left off. So we have quite a few things that are going to pass based off of your comments from last episode. Thank you all very much for your input. I'm glad to hear that everybody agrees with me that Songjay should get the multi-tailed trait. It's just so fitting, like you can very clearly see that this is a tail, but just the way that this wraps around, it looks exactly like it should be a tail too. So I'll go ahead and update his traits. So instead of folded ears, he'll have multi-tail. Okay, that's all set. Songjay has been updated. And another commenter asked if I even ever rolled for Late Kit. I think somewhere in my head I did, but I'd never actually made any notes for her. So I'll go ahead and roll now. Obviously, if she doesn't actually get any traits, she can't be Medicine Cat, so that would kind of throw a wrench in my plans there. But we'll get there when we get there. Okay, well, apparently here, good luck is continuing. I still don't know how to emphasize my luck is not usually this good, and I don't know how we keep getting 6s, but we are. So Late Kit actually rolled a 6 and then got an extra trait. So she actually has adaptable vision eyes and talon paws. So that fits in with her eyes being as changeable as they are, I suppose. And somewhere in the back of my mind, I just didn't say this out loud before because I thought I was being silly, is that I thought we had gotten her adaptable vision before, and then I happened to roll for that possibly again, probably for the first time. So I'm not really sure, but I'll take it, I suppose. So I guess this means that she can still be a medicine cat for us. And even if it doesn't work out for Late Kit, we still have all of these other kits and more that are going to be born in just a second. So thank you very much for reminding me about that. And with all of that out of the way, we'll go ahead and meet some new kits. I'm really excited. Alrighty, so going into Moon 138, Skystalk thinks they'll have a small litter, whereas Leonelfern welcomes a litter of 4 kits. We have so many new kits. Leonelfern welcomes them happily and seems unperturbed by the lack of a partner in the nursery with them. Jellyfish Wave has gotten White Cough. That's kind of scary going into Fall and Leaf Bear. Scratch Heart's heat exhaustion has abated. Oh, we've got an outbreak. Seagull Dusk, Stinky Laurel, and Scalepaw have all also gotten White Cough, in addition to Jellyfish Wave. So hopefully our medicine cats are up to the task. And then for our last note here, Gardenia Sun Lagoon Feather had a huge fight and broke up. So I guess they just aren't meant to be, but I really wish that they were a bit more compatible. Oh man, look at all the kits. Okay. We'll check out our kits now. Also, before I forget, just because I had quite a few comments about this a few episodes back, just wanting to see Maple Dawn's apprentice form. Maple Dawn's apprentice form is the same as the kit, so we've got like little baby kit, and then here's her kit form, her apprentice form, and then her adult form. So I actually have to click twice to get through those forms. It's just all the same. I'm assuming it's because of the kind of sprite it is, but I'm not really sure. So here's Warbler Kid, a bit more grown up. Daydreamer splashes in puddles and is currently whining about being hungry. Then we've got Dancing Kid, who wakes up early to sing with the birds. Noisy splashes in puddles. I can totally see Dancing Bird being a possible name for him then. Log Kit grew a lot darker, I feel like, and is currently busy mastering a battle move through performing incorrectly. An Attention Seeker also splashes in puddles. Fitting enough for a clan by the ocean, I suppose. Bluff Kid is complaining of a tummy ache after eating too much. Impulsive splashes in puddles. Then we have Briar Kit, nervous and a careful listener who's rolling around on the ground. Looking at them in their little potato forms, I thought they would all resemble one another very closely, but scrolling through now, they've definitely taken on some individuality. Okay, and then for our new kits here, we have Rye Kit, a newborn female with emerald eyes, a dark tabby pelt, quiet. I'm gonna randomize her name. I just feel like Rye is more fitting for a brown, maybe a ginger cat, but not for a black or dark gray cat. And I think we'll go ahead and rename her to Swift Kit. That's not really a very common prefix in my clans, I think, so it'll just be interesting to have a bit more variety. And then up next we have Green Kit, a newborn female with emerald eyes and a classic pelt, but a bullying nature. Mallow Kit, a newborn female with pale yellow eyes and tabby pelt, lonesome. And then finally Fish Kit, newborn male with bronze eyes, a gray goody pelt with medium fur, and noisy. I feel like Fish Kit probably most resembles the other parents. The Enel Fern doesn't have any traits, so I'm going to roll real quick to see if her partner did. Her partner did not. Okay. That's not really surprising. Our luck was kind of bound to run out. So the only thing I'm going to roll is to see if any kits come up with any mutations. It's just a 10% chance, and if not, I'll let you know. Otherwise, we'll see who gets what. Okay, we actually did get one random mutation. So Mallow Kit ended up with just the one random mutation. She has an attractive head, and that is all. And she was actually very close to getting the one bad mutation she could have gotten, so at least the one random mutation we got was good. I'll go ahead and assign all the other cats to normal trait, and we will check out our other cats for the clan. Alrighty, and here we are with Snipstar, a senior adult. She's feeling a little gloomy today, maybe just with the reminder that her body is slowing down. She has got the advantage of 9 lives on her side though, so that should help carry her a bit further into her elder years, a bit healthier than some other cats. But getting a very coarse reminder probably doesn't feel very good. It's so crazy to think that she was born directly into our clan and now she's an elder. Brighthorns is eavesdropping. She's still injured from last moon when she saved another cat from a dog. We've got a couple of medicine cats checking up on the warriors, so I'm not really surprised given that outbreak of white cough. They're probably making sure everybody is okay and trying to stop it from spreading. So checking out Lagoon Feather and Gardenia's son, they've held on to some of that romantic like we managed to build up, but their platonic like is at an all-time low and dislike is definitely rising. So I just don't think that they're going to be compatible. We'll leave them be and try and focus on some other relationships, I think. Fleetleaf is leaning into her bloodthirsty nature by starting fights with fellow clanmates, so since we do have these two as a possible focus, so I will go ahead and mediate them with Maple Dawn. Dusty Cuddles is whining about clan duties. Formerly a loner, I can definitely see her with a childish nature having some trouble settling in, and having to come to terms that she has to do sometimes unpleasant tasks for other cats. Since she's obviously a queen, she probably doesn't get the worst of it quite yet, but I can see her having some trouble settling it in. Okay, we have a lot of cats, but I didn't see anybody doing anything very exciting. We had a lot of things going on with dogs and 2-legs and just watching kitty pets or wondering about kitty pet life. So I guess that just at the forefront of everybody's minds, but we'll send out patrols. As they head out to gather cobwebs, Snakefern thinks about the dream they had last night. Was it sent by StarClan? It definitely distracts them from the hunt from cobwebs, but Snakefern uses the time to put their thoughts in order. The sign will need acting upon, and they return to camp to assemble the leader and deputy. We are getting pretty close to 6 moons out from our final event, since that'll be moon 144, so I guess it's not too early to really be thinking about that last sign. Songjay heads out to find some leaves, but doesn't find any safe trees to climb. They're forced to give up the idea of gathering oak leaves today. Pearl Dawn, however, has a bit more luck and gathers some blackberry. While out training together, Conifer Paw starts an argument with Tiny Slash about the technique they're working on. Tiny Slash has taken valuable time out of their day to personally help Conifer Paw with their studies, and this is completely juvenile behavior. Tiny Slash isn't shy about telling Conifer Paw so. By the time they're back in camp, the apprentice is cowed but respectful once more. Yeah, I was a little concerned about keeping Tiny Slash on as a mentor, but the game seemed very intent on giving him some sort of an apprentice at some point regardless. And with Conifer Paw being fierce, I figured that's probably the best pairing we're going to get away with. Whimsy Shade takes Mousepaw out basking, and while they do have a time basking together, Mousepaw is too stiff and polite for it to be considered bonding time, so Whimsy Shade will have to try something else. Mousepaw is insecure, so I can see Mousepaw feeling like they really have to keep up illusions or be stronger than they actually are to gain Warrior's respect, when that's not the point of the lesson at all. Our patrol stumbles across a large dog wandering in the middle of the clan's territory. I don't really like proceeding on this, but we do have 4 cats, and we've at least got 1 fighting trait, and 1 observing trait, which I suppose can't hurt, and it's in the middle of our territory, so I don't know if we can really afford to ignore it. Hair Shadow also doesn't have that many passes, so I think we'll proceed here and see what happens. And Frozen Sem selflessly throws himself into the fight. Every time the dog tries to grab at their clanmates, they are there with their claws, fur puffed out to twice the normal size. With Frozen Sem defending them, the patrol drives the dog off, yowling triumphantly. So Frozen Sem turns out to be the fiercest one of all. A hunting patrol approaches a 2-legged nest perched on a beachfront while hunting. I've definitely had us approach 2-legged nests before, but I don't think I've ever seen specified where, so let's see what happens. We get scared away. Okay. The patrol comes across a BogClan apprentice waiting quietly at the border. When the apprentice notices us, they press themselves to the ground begging to join. We really can't afford to turn away a cat. I know we've got a lot of cats, but our last event is going to be the most unforgiving, and the more chances we have, the better off we'll be. Fleetleaf is eager to steal BogClan's apprentice right out from under their noses. They sit close to the apprentice on the way back to camp. At first, the clan is unsure, but Fleetleaf vouches for Weedpaw and they are allowed to join the clan. It worsens relationships with BogClan, but we have a new apprentice. Okay, so you have Weedpaw, who is a 10-moon-old apprentice. Adolescent female with cyan eyes and a light tick pelt. She was, I suppose fittingly, given to Fleetleaf, since Fleetleaf vouched for her. But she's fierce with an interest in a dark forest, and that's kind of scary under a mentor with bloodthirsty traits. And it looks like she has some kind of marker scar in her paw here. That doesn't really specify where that scar came in from, but something makes me think that it probably came from her old group, and that's probably something that either is inspiring her dark intentions or drove her from the clan in the first place. I'm gonna generate her name just because we've already got a Weedpaw in the other clan and it's gonna throw me off. I don't think we've really had a Silver, so we'll change her name to Silverpaw, and I'm gonna roll and see if she comes with a trait. If she's coming from another clan, I've usually played it by ear that we get at least 1 trait, but we've had such a good run of luck, I'm just gonna straight roll, and we'll see if she gets anything. She does not, so she's just a normal cat. I think we'll send her out with Snipstar just for training and evaluation. When the two are out walking, Silverpaw seems preoccupied. When Snipstar brings the patrol to a halt to ask what's wrong, they reveal they've been having a hard time sleeping. Their dreams are filled with shadows and images. It sounds like it could be a vision. It's unusual. Not to say it's particularly fun, but it's not a bad thing. Those connected to StarClan in such a way are rare. So, Snipstar is basically just encouraging Silverpaw through it, and maybe discussing some of the darker components of the visions, too. Alright, so I sent a couple of the others just on a training patrol. I just wanted to help get some experience up to better border chances, basically, for recruiting. And Hyacinth Petal has stumbled upon a bush of red berries. We'll proceed here, because there's a chance that it's not going to be bad, but I don't like it. Hyacinth Petal avoids them, remembering kitten tales of red deathberries. Okay, we'll definitely take that. As our last patrol is marking border lines, a gang of rogues burst from the beach grass. It's an ambush. We'll go ahead and proceed here. Lagoon Feather revels in the battle, leaping into the fray with their teeth bared and claws ready. The rogues are quickly driven away by the patrol. I mean, it's not a bad thing, but Lagoon Feather really seems to be at the forefront of a lot of fights, and I'm definitely getting a little concerned that that fierce trait they have could devolve into something a bit more malicious. Okay, so while going through some cat relationships, just to see if we have any budding romances here, I have discovered something interesting. So Curl Dawn has a very small mutual crush on World Apple here. Very small. But World Apple also likes K-Spec, and arguably more. So if we switch over to K-Spec though, World Apple is nowhere on the romantic category for him. Not even a little bit on the radar, so... K-Spec, however, does have a crush on Gardenia's son. So let me check out these two. They're not compatible, but they're not incompatible, so they would be a lot more susceptible to fights or breaking up randomly, I think. But if we look over from World Apple's perspective, she's also not compatible with K-Spec. Just in the interest of keeping things interesting, let's try out World Apple and Curl Dawn. That could really well go nowhere. Also, investigating Gardenia's son a bit, if I can get back to her. Gardenia's son has all those remaining feelings for Lagoon Feather. Still has a little bit of something for Tiny Slash, but is developing feelings for K-Spec as well as Maple Dawn, it seems. And Fleetleaf, so... Gardenia's son is a bit more open. She is also not compatible with K-Spec at all. Not incompatible or otherwise. And is also neutral with Maple Dawn, even if we were to try and pursue something there. So again, in the interest of keeping things a bit more interesting, let's try out Gardenia's son with K-Spec. And we've got another interesting development, because Maple Dawn has a little crush on Comfrey Ash, nothing much, but Comfrey Ash is starting to really return the feeling. So let's see how they are. Also perfectly neutral, not compatible or incompatible. So we'll keep experimenting. I really want to give as many cats a chance to have kits as we can. So it may well go nowhere, but we'll try it. If anybody breaks up, I'll just leave it lie, but for now. Okay, and just one last little tidbit for fun here. I don't really see it going anywhere quite yet, but maybe. Furby Shine also has some romantic crushes on Jirachi Lightning, so Jirachi Lightning is just a catch for all of the older lesbians, I guess. Alrighty, moving into Moon 139. Newly made apprentice Lakepaw touches noses with their new mentor, White Stripe. FrogClan welcomes Silverflake as a new warrior, honoring their ferocity. So, Silverflake is definitely going to be leaning into the fiercer, maybe darker side of things, it sounds like. I don't really hate that name. Skystalk had a litter of 3 kits with hyacinth petal, which for a small litter, it's definitely not that small. Rumors reach our clan that the kitty pet 7 has died recently. That's one of the cats that we'd saved at some point. Jirachi Lightning can walk and move without pain, their sprain must have healed. Furby Shine was helping reinforce the camp walls and they got a thorn stuck in their paw. Scalepaw has recovered from white cough, the others are still sick though. Lakepaw has gotten a stomach ache, and we notice that some dandelion has gone bad. And Whimsy Shade has received the present of Juniper from Maple Dawn and decided to keep it with them on their belt. So here's Whimsy Shade with that new Juniper. She is just such a pretty cat, and I really hope that she has kids. It's just such a fun help, really. So here's Silver Flake. She's not really grown up, but she is a warrior now. She retained that fierce trait, and she also has a dark forest affinity. So unfortunately, it sounds like she is going to be stuck with a darker side of things. Now, whether that's going to be like an Ivy Pool sort of thing, where she uses that affinity to the clan's benefit, or becomes tainted by it, we'll have to see. Mentored by Fleetleaf. When they graduate, they are honored for their ferocity, doing so at 11 moons old. Because she is with us for such a short time, it seems like we don't really have any influence over her, which is an interesting note to add. Here's Lakepaw, now an apprentice. She agreed to be strict and novelty observant. I still think of the other. She's probably going to be one of the better medicine cat apprentice choices we've got. So I'll go ahead and switch her over. There we go. And it looks like she is apprenticed to Snakefern, probably fittingly. Which brings our medicine cat number up to 4, including Lakepaw. Currently we can care for up to 56 members, including ourselves. That is a lot of cats, but we are rapidly approaching the end of 3 pages, so we're going to need all paws on deck soon. That is so crazy to say. If we keep going at this rate, we will be on 4 pages soon. Okay, now for our new 3 kits. Up first, we have Delta Kit, which is an uncommon name, but one I don't necessarily hate. Newborn male with cobalt eyes, a single striped gray and white pelt. Charming. Rich Kit, a newborn female with heather blue eyes and a rosette gray pelt. Polite. And Silk Kit, a newborn male with blue eyes and a 2-color, looks like white and gray pelt. Daring. Now they were born to Skystalk and Hyacinth Petal. So Skystalk has all of these traits. Hyacinth Petal has these traits. So the kits have a chance at tattered ears, venomous teeth, muscular or glider body, an aquatic or normal tail, and talon or thumb paws. So there is a lot of potential in there. I'll go ahead and roll to see what traits they get from their parents. They are guaranteed at least 2, it looks like. And if they get any random mutations as well. Delta Kit rolls poorly and only keeps the guaranteed traits, but that's still 2 traits, and he ended up with the muscular body and thumb paws. Ridge Kit fared only slightly better, inheriting venomous teeth, a glider body, and thumb paws. And Silk Kit also rolls poorly and only gets the muscular body and talon paws. So unfortunately, out of 5 possible inheritable traits, the maximum we got was 3. But that beats none, I suppose, and no bad traits either. So we have those adorable new kits. We'll check out our slightly more grown-up kits now too. So here's Swift Kit, a bit more grown up. Very, very pretty cat with the emerald eyes and the black pelt combination. Same with her sister Green Kit. Even more so, I'd argue, with the swirling patterns. And then here's Mallow Kit, who has an active imagination. And the pale yellow is really striking on the dark gray. And finally, Fish Kit, noisy and constantly climbing. And you can definitely see his bronze eyes now. Snipstar is thinking about how full kitty pet food must taste, so it sounds like we are in for another kitty pet oriented moon disco. Ooh, Brighthorn's in the bad mood today. It's kind of strange that she would be, seeing as Skystalk just had kits. Yeah, it's very strange that Brighthorn would be so unhappy with the addition of her grand kits here. But I don't know. Maybe she just had higher expectations or hopes for them than what turned out. Still, she is healing, so we'll give her a little bit of a pass. Snakefern almost got lost. Luckily, we didn't lose him though. Curldon is feeling content. Leanelfern wants to get to know Curldon better. Interesting. Mapledon is feeling a bit ill. Hopefully, she is okay though. We'll mediate one of our randomly made pairs and see if they have any better luck though. Hatchpelt is pretending to be a big evil warrior for dancing kit. He strikes me as just like a very active grandpa. Like, anybody from a rural area will understand what I mean when I say something like a farmer grandpa. Just somebody who doesn't really acknowledge that it's time to maybe think about giving up on working. And is still really strong and fit for his age, but eventually something could kind of catch up to him. Pelt is spending some time away watching fish in the nearby river. Tiny Slash has the apprentices very engaged in a very, very tall tale. Probably about some battle prowess or another. Hyacinth Petal is also having a hard day, which again is strange considering Skystalk, his mate, just gave birth. So I'm really not sure if there's something going on with Skystalk or the kits that's really letting down more immediate members of the family, but everybody around Skystalk seems to be taking it kind of hard. Skystalk didn't really have much to say today, just saw some wandering two legs. Gore stands his eavesdropping on Lilac Pelt. Lilac Pelt went away to watch some fish swim, so I'm wondering if Lilac Pelt wasn't actually talking about something else at the time. Seagull Dusk, who's currently refined to the medicine den, is playing a prank on Snakefern, one of the medicine cats. I can definitely see pretending that the sickness is worse than it is once he realizes that he's going to be stuck there for a little while. Oh, this is interesting. Conifer Paw is wondering if Briarkit can be their apprentice someday. That's not something I think I've ever seen, and that's something I think I've ever seen on an apprentice. Looks like Conifer Paw doesn't have any particular friendship with Briarkit, so I'm not really sure what that's stemming from. Just a general wish to be a mentor or something else. But very interesting nonetheless. Warbler Kit is annoying the elders for more tales. Dancing Kit was asked many times to please be quiet. Bluff Kit has so much energy. And Briar Kit was just startled by a croaking frog, so also nothing especially of note there. Green Kid is saying kitty pets can't be real warriors. I missed that earlier. So, barely out of the nursery and she's already spewing hateful things, so I'm sure FrogClan will set her right though. Okay, we had a little bit more interesting stuff happening there, so we'll jump into our patrols now. Snakefern gathers some blackberry. Songjay finds some red berries, and while plucking them from the bush, feels one of the berries split in their mouth, and a deceptively good taste coats their tongue. These aren't raspberries. They rush to force them to throw up, and it works, expelling the death berries from their system, but they're weak and shaky for the rest of the day. So a very, very close call. Luckily, Songjay wasn't hurt though. I forgot to send Lake Paw out with Snakefern, so I guess Curldon will take her out gathering. They find a nice spot to sun themselves. Curldon makes sure everyone gets a good basking spot as they pause for a little break before resuming herb gathering, where they get some cobwebs. While out training, Mousepaw starts an argument with Whimsy Shade about the technique they're working on. Whimsy Shade just rolls their eyes, as amused by the apprentices' audacity as they are annoyed. Here, Shadow takes Scalepaw out to see the octopus. Scalepaw watches the massive creature the tides have washed in with wide eyes, tail twitching with excitement. Hair Shadow tries to point out the hooked beak as the octopus lazily waves a tentacle ever so temptingly just under the surface of the water. I wonder what the worst possible outcome for this training is. Looks like Conifer Paw and Tiny Slash are also basking. Conifer Paw is too stiff and polite for it to be considered bonding time though. Sending out a bit of a bigger patrol out on a training mission. We've got a lot of teaching in here, but not a whole lot of experience, relatively speaking. So I want to, again, try and bolster that just to make things hopefully go a bit smoother down the line. And the patrol quickly devolves into ghost stories, leaving everyone on edge. A branch snaps and the whole patrol runs back to camp. Later, an argument starts about what caused the noise. That's totally something I could see me and my friends doing at some point. Our patrol hears the cat begging for their household to come back, just barely legible over the sound of the monster speeding away. Furbyshine finds the kitty pet collapsed by the thunder path, wailing for their housefolk. Furbyshine, who's been in a similar position, comforts them, asking why they were left here. The only explanation they have is that they are sick. Perhaps they are too much of a burden. Furbyshine offers them a place in FrogClan, at least until they're better. And Sassy Fade has joined the clan. Let's see if we can find them. So Sassy Fade is a young adult female with bronze eyes, a smoke pelt, and a white nylon collar. It almost kind of looks like plaid or something. She is charismatic and a good kid sitter. Despite being 27 moons old, she has quite a bit of experience. Formerly a kitty pet. They used to be a kitty pet but joined after something terrible happened to their two legs. She is currently sick with green cough, so it's not surprising given the season, but it is definitely unfortunate to be bringing an infectious green cough into us right before Leaf Fair. And this is what Sassy Fade looks like healthy. Very pretty cat, striking eyes. I really like this collar on her though. And our luck hasn't completely abandoned us, as Sassy Fade does come with multiple traits. She comes with a total of 2, which again is not bad at all. Alrighty, and the traits that Sassy Fade ends up coming in with are fuzzy ears and cute eyes. So definitely 2 traits I could see being a bit more disarming and being a bit more appealing for 2 legs. So it makes sense that she'd be a kitty pet. K-Spec sees 2 kids from WormClan playing close to the border. K-Spec decides to bring Evening Mist with them to WormClan and orders the others back to camp. As they approach, they are immediately greeted by the leader, who recognizes K-Spec, knowing them to be a kind and caring cat, and thanks both of them sincerely. It's very interesting to think that K-Spec in particular could have a reputation amongst the rest of the other cats in the area, since it's probably not really warrior clans anymore. And for our last patrol here, we're checking the border lines when we hear the traits of paw sets through the territory. The patrol approaches warily and comes upon a kitty pet that's sniffing around. The kitty pet notices their arrival and brightly says they've heard of the clan and wish to join. We agree to take them back to camp, and Mau Mau goes to join the clan. I think that's probably how we're supposed to say that. So here's Mau Mau Ghost, looking around the camp with wonder. She's troublesome with a keen eye and a great storyteller. Senior adult with bronze eyes and a single colored tan pelt. She also has a white leather collar. Let's see if she comes with anything. She comes with 1 trait, which, again, I'm definitely not complaining about. I'll take 1 trait over none at all. And the trait that Mau Mau Ghost ends up with is flat teeth. Alrighty, our progress is definitely a bit slow right now, but we've got a whole horde of cats to get through, and quite a lot of rolls this episode, so that's not really terribly surprising. I would like to try and speed things up a little bit, so next time I think I'm going to try as hard as I can to get to moon at least 143, so then we can find out what our last event's gonna be and get into preparations for it here soon. So that is really right around the corner now. Fingers crossed that our luck holds and we manage to, I guess, just get through everything. So hopefully you all are enjoying. Shout out to Parental Units for supporting the channel. It is definitely appreciated. If you all would like, you can check out the description for a link to the Discord to hang out with me. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, do all the usual things. It really does help out the channel, even if it doesn't seem like it takes very much. So, until next time, stay safe and happy. I'll see you then, and bye!